Hi, I'm Ron Nutter, and welcome to another edition of Tech Bytes with Ron Nutter. This time we will talk about how to use the Hubitat rules engine to automate the process of turning on or off a device. This is the second installment of the Hubitat rules engine series. This time we will see about turning a device on at a specific time and turning it off at a specific time. This will require a rule to do both. So you're going to eventually have two rules. Now, one of my subscribers pointed out that you can do this with modes. As with any device like Hubitat, there is usually more than one way to do a specific task. We'll be looking at using modes in later videos. This video is also available as an Amazon Flash briefing or podcast. Please go to techbyteswithronnutter.com for more information. For any items mentioned in this video, there are affiliate links in the description. If you click on one of these links, I will get a small commission, but that won't affect the price you pay for the item. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please click on subscribe and enable notifications. If this video helps you or provides value, please click on the like button. Thumbs up. Now, let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, we're going to be doing with our good old friend Hubitat. And now, while this is the C5 or what I'll call the second gen chassis, because it doesn't have the radio stick coming out of it, it works on both, because I've got the older hub as my production hub, and this is the one I do the testing and do the videos with. So really, that shouldn't present any problem for you. So let's switch over to the interface, actually to the web interface, and we'll get the process started. So we are in the apps part of the screen, and if you haven't done the rules engine before, or rule machine rather, I call it the rules engine, then you'll need to get that installed, and you just do that by tapping on the Add Built-in App, scrolling down and selecting the rules machine. So it shouldn't be a problem. So to add another rule, we'll just tap on that and we'll click on Create a New Rule, and we will go just time on. And actually we've got to hit go because otherwise it doesn't like that. So the trigger event will be to turn on at a certain time. So we'll tap on certain time, and we will tap on that, and then when we select on this time, we'll actually say we're going to turn it on at 7 p.m. and then we can tap 00, and you can either shift it to AM or PM like you've seen before in the other video. So we'll tap set, and we'll tap done, and tap on done with this trigger event, and done with trigger events, and then condition to run will be control switches, and select action will turn the switch on, and we'll tap on switches. And at this point we'll just pick our friend the LED light strip, tap on update. We can add a delay, but at this point we're just going to let it go the way we want to. So we'll click on done with action, and done with action. So you can see by looking at the screen here, it shows you that it's set to go off at 7 p.m. Central Time or whatever time zone that you're in, and that we're going to turn on the LED strip. Now, if you need to do any diagnostics, like it's not turning on when you think it is, this is where you can come back in later and turn on the logging and see what's going on. And I normally will turn on all three, just because if one's not showing you something, it's easier to back off on what it's telling you than it is to have to keep going back in and turning stuff on and figuring out where it's failing. It's easier to filter down, but it's not so hard to filter up and add more items. So we'll go down here and we'll tap done. Okay, so now we've got time on, and we will go back. I'll tap on rules machine. We'll create new rule, and we will go time off, and tap go. Now select trigger events, and we'll do certain time, and we will then click on that again. At this point we'll say turn it off at 11, and we'll tap on 00. So we've already got it set to go off at 11, so we'll tap done, and we will done with this trigger event, done with trigger event, and actions to run, and we'll manage or create. No, don't want that. Got off onto the wrong area. So done with actions. And here we go. Okay, control switches. There we go. And then we will turn switches off. And then we will go light strip, update, done with action. Scroll down here, done with action. And we'll tap done one last time. So now those are all set to go. So that will automatically start working. But if you ever want to manually cycle it to see what's going on, you will just say tap on time on. And then we can go down here and it says just tap on the one that says run action, and that will cycle it just like the time has actually occurred. So you would do that to run that rule, and then you go back down here to time off and run that one. Now, like we mentioned earlier, if you run into a diagnostics problem to where, I'm getting into IT speak. If you run into a problem where it's not firing off the way you think it should, then what you can do is go down here to time on and logging, and we'll just turn on all three. And you've got to save it, otherwise the logging is probably not going to take effect. So we go back to time on, and we'll go down here and run action. So now that it's turned that strip on, we can go down here to logs and show past logs. And there we go. And this is where it just got turned on. So if you dig down here into details a little bit, you will see where the LED strip just got turned on. And so one is the app and one's the device. So anyway, it tells you kind of what's going on, and that way you can step through it. Now, do you want to leave the logging turned on all the time? My answer is no, because with the small processor that's in the device, you don't want to leave it running all the time, because if you've got more than one rule running and you've got logging turned on one rule, then you're going to start bogging down this little guy right here, or girl. I don't know that it necessarily has a gender. So you don't want to overload it, because the more you're doing with this, you only want to turn the rules on. Turn on the logging when you think you've got a problem. Now, if you've set up a new rule and it seems you're running fine, but it's timed to only go off at, say, at sunset or under certain conditions, the more granular you make the triggers, the more you may have to do a little bit of logging to see if things where they're not working, if they do. And there's probably a way, and I haven't gotten that far into the rules engine, that you can probably do this all with one rule. But I'm a little bit old-fashioned, where I've dealt with firewalls for years. Just because you can do something doesn't mean it's a good idea. So this way, if you've got one rule to turn it on, one rule to turn it off, it's that much less you have to weed through in case there is something that's not acting right. That's just my personal feeling on it, but that's totally up to you. So as you can see, this is just another way where the Hubitat is really a handy little device. The app itself tells you quite a bit when you go into the logs. So if you do run into a problem, you're more than likely to be able to fix it. And if there's a problem, you can reach out to the folks at Hubitat and they'll be glad to work with you. But that's where having logs like this to share with them, to show them what is or isn't going on, is going to help them help you that much better. Well, that's all we've got for this particular video. And as you can see, there's going to be videos to the right or to the left, or next steps to the series you've watched or some of the other content that I've produced. If this video has helped you or provides value, please click on the like button, thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please click on subscribe and enable notifications, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.